and today we're going to be making 3 easy, healthy, and delicious recipes that are perfect for breakfast, for snacking, dessert, whatever, rather than grabbing foods that are processed and high in sugar and excess oils and all that kind of stuff. I like to make things from scratch where I know exactly what's in them and can feel good about consuming them. So let's get started making the first recipe. We're starting off with the protein peanut butter cups. These are one of my favorite. They're really easy to make, simple ingredients, high protein, and you really only need 1, maybe 2 to feel satisfied. They're the perfect little treat. I have the world's most clingiest cat. Walter, say hi. To start this recipe off, I'm adding some chocolate chips, about 3/4 of a cup, to a bowl, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and put it in the microwave for 30-second intervals, and make sure that I'm stirring in between so that we don't burn the chocolate, and you want to do this until it is completely melted through. Now that the chocolate's all melted, I'm putting muffin liners into the trays, and I'm using a mini muffin tin. You could use a regular sized one, but you would need to double the recipe if you wanted to make 12. And then I'm taking about half a teaspoon of the melted chocolate and pouring it into the bottom of the muffin liner. We're gonna stick this in the freezer for about 20, maybe 30 minutes, just until they're solid. While the chocolate's setting up, we're gonna make our peanut butter filling. So I'm putting about 3/4 of a cup to a full cup of natural peanut butter. We're going to add in a little bit of maple syrup. I'm doing 2 tablespoons, but you could add a little bit more if you want it a bit sweeter. We're gonna add in our protein powder too. I put in 1/4 of a cup, and that's also vanilla flavored and adds a little bit of sweetness as well. And then we're going to mix it all together until it's combined. Now that the chocolate's set up, we're going to add half a teaspoon of our peanut butter mixture into each muffin tin, and then either using the measuring spoon or just your fingers. Fingers are a lot easier in my opinion. We're going to press down the peanut butter filling, and then we're going to add another half teaspoon of the melted chocolate on top of that. Putting our peanut butter cups back into the freezer to set up for like 20 to 30 minutes, and then you want to wait a minute or 2 before removing the liner from them. These are the perfect little treat. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I just pop one of these out when I'm craving something, and yeah, you really only need 1, and your cravings are curbed. They are much better for you than your traditional peanut butter cup. They have way less sugar and they're high in protein. Next up are my version of a Lara bar. I used to buy these all the time, or like RX bars, but I found it was really easy to just make them at home, and I feel like I'm saving a little bit of money too. So they're very similar ingredients to the last recipe. If you don't want to use honey, you could use the maple syrup again instead, whatever kind of nut butter you like, and you could use use whatever kind of protein powder you like. I used vanilla for the last recipe and chocolate for this recipe. So to start off, I'm putting my dates into a food processor. I put in about 10, and then I'm adding in, again, some natural peanut butter, about half a cup. Then I'm putting 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into a little dish, and we're going to melt that for about 30 seconds in the microwave. I'm adding the honey into the food processor as well, around 2 tablespoons. You don't have to be really precise with these recipes, which is one of the things I love about them. Just kind of eyeball it or do it to taste. We're going to blend up our wet ingredients, the dates, peanut butter, and honey into the food processor until it's well combined, and then we're going to add in our oats, hemp seeds, and protein powder. Once everything's well incorporated, we're adding in our melted coconut oil to further bind it together. Once it's nice and sticky, then we're going to add in the chocolate chips and just pulse it a few times until they're mixed in. You could use a measuring cup to do this. I'm just using my hands. It's a lot easier in my opinion, and we're firmly pressing the bars down so they're nice and packed. I'm sticking mine in the freezer for like 15 minutes just to set up, but you could chill them in the fridge too. I usually keep mine in the fridge. I find they hold together a little bit better, but you could also keep them at room temperature. And these bars are my favorite lately. I've been making them every single week, and they're surprisingly filling. And then the peanut butter taste with the oats and the chocolate, again, it is so satisfying. Our last recipe are these frozen yogurt pops using the same mini muffin tray as earlier and lining them. Again, if you want to use a full-size tray, you just have to double the recipe. So I'm adding in some plain Greek yogurt with protein powder and a little bit of almond milk into a bowl. I like to use plain Greek yogurt and add my own flavoring, but if you want to buy flavored yogurt, you can. I just suggest looking at the nutritional content and trying to pick one that has low sugar. I like to get yogurt with just 1 gram of sugar, and then, like I said, add the sweetness myself from the protein powder and from the fruit. I'm choosing strawberries and bananas. I melted them in the microwave for like a minute, and now I'm just smashing them with a fork. Once we have all of our ingredients in the bowl, we're going to give it a quick whisk until everything's mixed together. I'm topping mine off with a little bit of chocolate chips. Why not? You can really get creative with this recipe and switch up the flavors by adding different flavored protein powder or different fruits, some nut butter if you wanted to, and it's really easy. Just add a little bit into each muffin tray. I find using an ice cream scoop is easiest. We're going to stick them in the freezer for like 2 to 3 hours to set up, and I wanted to make it fun and make them into pops, so I'm adding some cake pop sticks into mine, but this step is obviously optional. I thought this would be a fun treat if you have kids or if you just have a sweet tooth like me. Anyways, thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Please let me know below if you tried any of these recipes. I'm sending you so much love, and we will see you in the next video.